up the treble chasing Reds. Quadruple might be
It's not quadruple anymore.
We go for 3.
Yeah, let's see how that one pans out. I do not wish Liverpool the best of luck, but let's just see what happens. They're still in the running for the FA Cup. I want Chelsea to win it. I want Real Madrid to win the Champions League as well.
So which one do you want Man U to win?
I want Man U to win nothing right now, but build for next season and let's see how
Bob the builder. Yeah,
It was a very decisive weekend in the English Premier League where we saw fixtures between Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur. And it was not exactly the result the Liverpool hopefuls were hoping for, but it was something that definitely made smiles go around in Manchester, especially in the Blue House. And yeah, is the EPL title race over now?
I feel like it's been a long shot for a long time, and is the race over? I don't know if I'll say it's over because really City have been in the pole position most of the season. Statistically, if City do not win the title this year, it will be the biggest collapse in history. So it's always been a long shot for Liverpool. We've always known that with 3 games to go, it's going to have to take a miracle. They're going to have to drop points somewhere. So the fact that we drop points here, that makes it a little tougher for us, but I think the job is still the same job. We're still banking on West Ham or Wolves to beat Man City to win the league, and we're still in that situation, I guess. So yeah.
The situation just became more interesting yesterday when Liverpool dropped points against Tottenham, and it was not something Liverpool fans were expecting. But especially Jurgen Klopp.
I mean, considering that last time we played Tottenham, they drew with us.
Yeah,
they beat Man City twice. Me, as knowing the way Liverpool play, knowing the way Tottenham play, I think Tottenham are probably the most equipped team to beat a side like Liverpool or Spurs, and you can see that from the record. They have 8 points from those games. They defend well. They have a great manager, like I mentioned, who I think should get the top 4. And then up front, they have Kane and so on. So if a team is going to sit back and hit you with 2 players, there's probably not a better duo in world football than that.
Yeah.
So it definitely wasn't something that surprised me watching that game.
It was unfortunate and really heartbreaking for Jurgen Klopp, who had a lot of things to say. So, but what exactly drew my attention was the post-match press conference where Jurgen Klopp was a sore loser. He had unkind things to say about Tottenham and the way they played. He made comments, along the lines of Tottenham parked the ball.
I mean, they asked him a question. What's he going to say now? He said, and what he said was, he specifically, see how people carry information.
Okay.
He said, it's my own personal problem. It's just not my style of football. By respect, Tottenham, it gets them results. Atletico do it too. Fair play them. But if you're asking me, it's just not my game.
That's exactly what he said. But if you read in between the lines and you read the inference, he was trying to say that it was bad tactic for Spurs to play defensive against him, and that was not even the case. Even though they had 35% of possession, they were not really a defensive side throughout the game. Imagine playing against a team like Liverpool, who's bagged, I think, 139 goals already. Over the past how many seasons? And do you expect a team to come against you and play gung ho, to play all-out
No, he doesn't.
attack?
But if you ask him what he feels about that style of football, like he said, it's my personal problem, and it's just my own philosophy. They can play their style of football, and I think he mentioned one point. Yes, their style of football might help them against Man City and against Liverpool, but to win the Premier League, you're going to have to go out there and beat teams. So to be switching from that defensive gear, then tomorrow you're playing Southampton, you expect your players to just be the best attackers in the world. That's probably why Spurs sit 5th at the moment now. That style of football is not going to win you the league.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to say he did very well by saying it is my own personal. He did well by putting that point.
You ask that man a question, he's going to answer.
Yeah, but the point remains the same. It was.
Speaking of soldiers, how do you feel about? I think now we're mentioning what people are saying.
Let's finish that point. I think we'll go on
what Pep Guardiola said.
What Pep Guardiola said as well.
So let's know that.
We'll go there. But it was just interesting to see, and I feel like he was hurt by that result, and it just came out. He criticized their style of play, and I think it was unfair to Tottenham. They played a very good game.
Hey man, speak to the reporter. Speak to the reporter that asked him the question. They had 35% of the bulb.
I wish the reporter had the opportunity to ask a follow-up question and then asked Klopp, okay, how did you expect them to play?
I don't know.
Maybe then you'd have not said, in my personal opinion, I think they should have come out all attacking. But yeah, let's speak about what Pep Guardiola said.
So what do you say, Seth? That he's clearly still sorting out what happened to the Champions League. Because Guardiola has been making the jokes about how he wants to win the Champions League. When he won the Premier League, he said he wants to, that him and Klopp should swap trophies so he can get the Champions League. And here we are again. Yeah, we haven't been here since that capitulation by Pep Guardiola. Yes, and I feel like, yeah, the season is in ruins at this point. What are they going to do to another Premier League?
Exactly.
It's in ruins.
It feels like they are the biggest losers.
They are.
They were expected to go into the Champions League. And I'm sure we called it right. We said Real Madrid were going to go there and do the business. Even though Real Madrid left it late. In that game,
Heritage might come late, but it's always coming.
It is always coming. And it was really interesting to see. I for one, was very happy to see Pep Guardiola bungle it again.
Definitely.
You know, at the moment when he counted. And yeah. It was just interesting to see all round. We can move on from there now, or let us talk about Manchester United going 4-0.
Yeah, a few things happened in the Premier League apart from at the top. So yeah, the United results. Like
so me, I'm not surprised, right? I'm also not even disappointed because
I didn't even laugh at them. This is what I expect. Brighton are a great footballing side. United are a pretty bad football team, and I think Rangnick, you guys should sack him more. Are you sure you want him to consult on football?
No, so this is the thing, right?
He doesn't know ball.
It is obvious. It is obvious.
He doesn't know ball.
It is obvious that the buck does not stop with him. Now, he made a comment a couple weeks ago where he said he spoke to the board about signing a striker.
Yes,
he spoke to the board about signing Luis Diaz, who now plays for Liverpool and who has become a revelation. And then the board said, oh no, we don't think we want to go for this player now. He also mentioned like 2 or 3 other players. I think he mentioned one of the Tottenham boys, I think Bentancur as well. You know, signings that came out to be very good buys or loan signings for the sides that he joined in January. And Manchester United could have
maybe Klopp felt that if Rangnick is not going to be the manager next year, let's not sign in players for Ten Hag, because Ten Hag comes and doesn't like them. But I think, me, personally, I'm tired of talking about United. We say the same thing every week. They've collapsed. When they come back, we'll speak on them. But I want to talk about Arsenal. Arsenal, that people thought were going to get relegated, insulted their Ben White signing, insulted their goalkeeper signing, insulted their Arteta, insulted everything about the club. Arsenal are currently 4 points ahead of Tottenham. Was it 3? Yes. And 1 point behind Chelsea. They can finish third this season. I think that's a phenomenal job. Arteta, he has a sharp. No, I might give Arteta manager of the season in the Premier League, to be honest.
Definitely wouldn't be. It won't be Arteta for me. I think we should do an episode where we'll actually talk about.
Because I don't think it should be Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola has accomplished what he has accomplished every season for how many years? This guy has brought a team that we thought could be relegated, that held, was it 4 to Brentford at the start of the season, and now they can finish third. It's remarkable.
I think I would want to give it to either one of Moyes or Gerrard with, you know, what they had going for them.
Gerrard came in mid-season. I won't give Gerrard. And Gerrard is my boy. I would love to give Steven Gerrard another Premier League award, obviously. But Villa, they've kind of tailed us toward the end. And Arteta makes top 4. What can you say about him? He would have had the best season. When you look at what you expected teams to accomplish compared to what they do accomplish at the end, the gap will be the highest for Arteta. So you have to give it to him.
I think at that point we should bring it home to what the Nigerian boys are doing on the European stage. Zaidu Sanusi literally won the Liga Portugal for FC Porto, and it was a very, very big moment. 90 plus 2 minutes. 0-0 against Clutch. Massive Clutch moment for Porto. 0-0 against their direct rival SL Benfica, and he scored the winning goal when it mattered, and they won the
What more can you ask for? Congratulations to Porto and everybody. I hope my boy Luis Diaz is going to get a medal for that. So he played a lot of games. So he has his big title. So Luis Diaz can still win quadruple now. Ballon d'Or. It's a league now.
But yeah, moving on from Zaidu Sanusi, I think, just to quickly point that out again, why did Eguavon now replace Zaidu Sanusi with Calvin Bassey in the AFCON, and everything just went to shit?
You're opening up old wounds, bro.
I don't get it.
Opening up old wounds.
That's a solid player. He played well, you know, in the first couple of games, and now he's doing a madness for Porto, and you decided to remove him. I beg, please, let's just move on from that. And still on the good news for Nigerian boys in Europe, Moses Simon doing a madness for FC Nantes. He did not score in that final, but he was very instrumental in helping Nantes win their first trophy in 22 years.
That's historic. I think Moses deserves a movement.
He does.
The
deserve
Premier
it
League
to a
side should
bigger-
look at him.
Exactly.
I love seeing him
Exactly.
in England. He's got the pace. He's got the PMP for the Prem. Pace and power. He's got trickery, an eye for goal. I would love to see him running down the wings in England.
Definitely would be an interesting signing for a side like, let me say, Arsenal.
Arsenal could do that. Everton struggling. They could do it more in their fire line.
Yeah. So big one for the Nigerian boys in Europe, especially Moses Simon and Zaidu Sanusi. We do hope them the best of luck moving forward. Now let us move on to Formula One, where the inaugural edition of the Miami Grand Prix happened over the weekend. It was a very eventful weekend.
Star-studded.
I mean,
Everybody
it's
was
Miami.
out. It
bro.
was what we
It's Miami,
expected.
You know.
The scenes around the race were probably more exciting than
even the race
But I
itself.
feel like that's what everyone expected. David Beckham was there, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Serena Williams. The goats from all the sports came out. Yeah, it was like a red carpet.
And it was big. But unfortunate for the Mercedes team, whom I support.
They've been
because
down
of
bad
the
all
team.
season. Like, forget about the Mercedes now.
Yeah, they haven't.
I think what we need to look at is Ferrari. Ferrari are trying to get back into the conversation.
Right.
Verstappen won the race, obviously, but Ferrari there again, like they've been all season in second place. They're top of the drivers' championship right
yes.
now, and yeah, Ferrari might be back. It's definitely between Ferrari and Red Bull. Hamilton is going to have to drive out of.
He hasn't finished in the top 5.
Yeah, he's going to have to drive like crazy
for a bit.
for any hope here.
Yeah, he finished 6th even this weekend. But George Russell is helping drag Mercedes into the Constructors' Championship.
He's trying, but even that trying, we'll see how it goes though.
I think both drivers are trying, they're still trying to get to grips. They have a new car for this.
Exactly,
season.
and they spent too much time fighting Red Bull and the FIA last season.
Exactly,
Like, it's
over
clear
last
that,
season's results.
yeah, things aren't right for Mercedes right now.
So yeah, let's just see how the season pans out. Promises to be interesting. But good news still in Formula One. I don't know if you watch Drive to Survive, the Formula One series on Netflix. Season 5 and season 6 have been agreed by Netflix, between Netflix and Formula One, and that's interesting. It is one series that if you're not watching as a sports fan, you're definitely missing
What
out.
Netflix has done for Formula One, it's crazy. The amount of revenue that's coming, how big it's
Exactly,
been
the
for marketing.
attention
It's one of
and
the
everything,
biggest
yes.
marketing moves we've seen in a while.
Yeah. So big news coming out on F1 and Netflix. Let us move on now before we wrap things up to some of the transfer stories that we're hearing. Just before we came on air, I heard that Haaland has agreed a deal in principle with Manchester City. That spells doom for English teams.
Yeah, I feel like there's two ways to look at it. Obviously, they're getting one of the best young players in the world. He scored so many goals, but you still bear in mind that he did it in the Bundesliga, and the players that have come from the Bundesliga and Dortmund to the Premier League, you know very well, Mkhitaryan, Jadon Sancho, does not always, Werner, it doesn't always go as planned. And I feel like with Haaland, maybe this is wishful thinking, because like you said, it might spell doom for us, but I feel like what City have going for them is the mobility of that like front six. They have no player in a fixed position. So I think with Haaland down the middle, he's down the middle. It could become easier for you to defend, because most times you see Foden coming here, Mahrez coming here, De Bruyne in the first. Now you just can't pick up City player. So like now, exactly, they're going to cross into Haaland. They're going to try and play Haaland in behind. So yeah, it could go either way, but it's a brilliant signing. They're going to spend a lot of money, obviously, and yeah, they're going to get a top player.
I mean, I would be disgusted to see it happen, because it would mean another huge, massive figure signing for in the EPL for Manchester City. But I think that would bring me to saying, on air now, R.I.P. Mino Raiola. I did not like the guy when he was alive, but death just took him away. He after a brief after some illness, and he represents
Haaland. And speaking of players he represents, Pogba. I've been seeing Pogba to Manchester City.
Yes, so that's another thing. Before we came on air as well, I think I saw that Pogba has declined the move.
He's declined it.
Good for him, because he
would have done that.
does not want all that bad energy.
And he doesn't. Why does he
doesn't
want
want all
to?
that
I think Pogba should get out of England while he can. Like, this league doesn't take to him. The pundits aren't on his side. Like, the fans don't like him. There's just no point. He's a top player. He can play anywhere in the world. Just take his move.
Yeah, so I think at this point we would want to put a pin on it, except there's something else you'd like to say.
Up the treble chasing Reds. Quadruple might be
It's
out.
not quadruple anymore.
We go for 3.
Yeah, let's see how that one. Let's see how that one pans out. I do not wish Liverpool the best of luck, but let's just see what happens. They're still in the running for the FA Cup. I want Chelsea to win it. I want Real Madrid to win the Champions League as well.
So which one do you want Man U to win?
I want Man U to win nothing right now, but build for next season and let's see how
Bob the builder. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode.
See.
Peace.